Bhagavan, thy child's tiny hands have gathered these small flowers from the immense garden of thy glory and woven them into a clumsy garden. But it is offered at thy divine feet with a big noise, calling it all about Shivananda. The fragrance and the beauty of the color belong to thee. It is thine own unsurpassable love for thy children that makes thee accept this too. It was said of Lord Krishna that everything about him was sweet. It is true of Bhagavan Shivananda. Today, Dr. Kuppaswamy transformed himself into Swami Shivananda, and the austere, stern and hard taskmaster Swami Shivananda has somehow mysteriously vanished. When and how, no one knows. The Shiva we see in our midst today is the most lovable concrete manifestation of divine life. May that love dwell in our hearts. Jai Shivan.
2. It may be a little body, it may be the body of an ant. It may be my body, your body, or the body of a family. There is a soul in a family. Though every member of the family has a soul, one may miss the soul of the family. If the chief organizing, influencing, potent force in the family is missing, we will say that the soul of the family is gone. Yet the members of the family are there, and they also have souls. Listen to me very carefully, because these are very subtle analyses. Likewise, when we speak of any type of living arrangement or organization, the word organization also has to be understood in its true spirit. An organization is a coming together of various parts, and parts cannot come together unless there is something which brings the parts together. We do not see the wheels of a vehicle automatically joining together and making a motorcar. Nothing happens automatically. No part of a machine will join with another part unless there is a cohesive, pervasive, and immanent force which envisages the arrangement or the pattern that is to be projected in the form of a machine, and that may be considered as something independent of the machine, though it cannot be totally isolated from the machine. Organization is a very subtle, eluding word. This body also is an organization. It is made up of various parts which work in collaboration. It is a machine. The body is a machine in the sense that it is made up of various parts, nuts and bolts, and there is a dynamo, and a pulley, and every blessed thing, but nothing will work unless there is a system introduced into this mechanically placed multifaceted arrangement which we call an organization. There is no organization without something which organizes these parts of the organization. We have to consider what that something is. There may be a leader of a huge organization, and his presence, his influence, his activity brings all the people together, though they may be millions in number. We may be wonderstruck as to how one person can bring together thousands of people, because thousands are larger in number than this one single person. Now again I am coming to a sort of answer to this query raised by this theme. If we can find some answer within ourselves as to the circumstances under which one person can rule millions of people, or how one field marshal can command a whole battalion of men, none of whom are physically, mechanically, or intellectually inferior to him, then there is also a possibility of lifting our minds to an area of consideration which is not necessarily mechanistic, physical, or purely visible to the eyes. There seems to be some invisible thing which is an unavoidable and inviolable presence everywhere, without which the organization cannot function. Take this example of a huge army being commanded by one man. What strength has this man got over all these people? Mechanistically, physically, materially, economically considered, he has no strength whatsoever, yet he has strength. That strength is that which pervades everyone in the whole army, which is constituted of individuals like him. This is something very surprising. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of persons like him are organized into a single focus of consideration and attention and action by the presence of one individual who is also like them. We have to think deeply here, and this type of thinking is called philosophical thinking. This is not scientific thinking, because science cannot recognize what it cannot observe and experiment upon, and if we observe an army, experiment upon an army and see the army through a microscope or even a telescope, we will see nothing except a huge mass of people. But it is not a mass of people, there is something else in it, which is the reason why we do not call it a huge heap of people, but an army. It is organization and a unified force. What makes us feel that a large organization, such as a parliament, a political system, an army, or any such thing, forms one single organization, notwithstanding the fact that we cannot see any organization there? We see only different heads and different legs moving about in different ways. This eluding, mysterious yet impossible to avoid thing is the soul. We cannot say that it is inside the body, because the body of a person who organizes a large gathering is like the body of anybody else, and if we say that his soul controls everybody, well, our consideration that the soul is inside the body rules out that argument. We cannot expect one man's soul to jump on somebody else's soul and then organize everybody. What is it that is intriguing us and stirring us and stimulating us, keeping us restless in spite of all our acquisitions, properties, and social securities? We have missed something. I was told that there was a doubt in the minds of some people whether there is a soul for which man is searching, or there is only the soul. This difficulty, this question also arises due to a misunderstanding of the very meaning of the soul itself. A mere academic bookworm cannot answer these questions, as one cannot find an answer to these questions in books. Though there are hints in the great scriptures as to what all this means, we do not have that intellectual caliber to go into the depths of the implications of these scriptures, much less the time to study them. What is man searching for? All of us are well-educated, cultured persons with time enough to think deeply over this matter. We cannot say that we are searching for money and status merely, though it may be one of the things that we are searching for. We have seen learned people who are not happy. We have seen very rich people who can burn money but are unhappy in many, many ways. Potentates, politically powerful, ruling a large dominion are terribly insecure day in and day out, they have no peace of mind. There is something that everyone is missing, whatever be the acquisitions of a person physically, materially, economically, politically. Something is missing which keeps us anxious all the while. A very rich man is always anxious about something. He is brooding, thinking, and scratching his head. He does not rest quietly, thinking, everything is fine, like milk and honey. Let me sleep. No rich man will sleep like that. He is worse off than a poor man as far as anxiety is concerned. Similarly, every person with any kind of acquisition is insecure for various reasons. A healthy man is insecure that he may fall sick and cannot be eternally healthy. So, there is a lacunae, unintelligibly though, felt by each person, and one would like to search for an answer to this insecurity, this restlessness, and this elusive character of that which one is searching for in life. No one seems to have got what he wanted in this life. When the time comes for us to leave this world, it appears very few will go with the satisfaction that they have got what they wanted. There was always something receding, like the horizon, and not permitting the grasp of the human being, psychically, intellectually, mentally, much less physically. We cannot know so easily what we have lost. This is the reason why we are kept in this suspension. We may concede that there is some terrible lacunae in our life, and we are hollow, a vacuum, empty inside in some mysterious way in spite of our material possessions and social status.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivananda